Hello and welcome to another Zigbee training tutorial. I'm Joan Bailey from Garstang to Optimus, and today I want to talk to you about using a fairly simple built-in tool in Windows 10 that will allow you to do some very simple video editing. So the type of videos I'm thinking of here is if you've perhaps videoed a club event and you've got a little bit of time at the beginning where people are chatting, moving the chairs, having a cough, etc. before things start. Or similarly, at the end, you've finished the event, but the people are chatting before you've managed to turn off the camera. We can trim the start and end off a video without making any other changes to it. Also, if you've got a long one that you would like to break down into smaller chunks, again, this tool is very easy to use for breaking a video up. This won't allow you to do anything else like joining two different videos together or swapping things around. If you want to do any more sophisticated video editing, there are a lot of other programs and tools available. There is actually another tool built into Windows 10 which allows you to do a fair bit, so I will be covering that on a later video. This one is purely the very simple break a video up or chop bits off the beginning and end. As I said at the start, this is for people using Windows 10. I've not tested Windows 8 because I don't have a Windows 8 machine available, but I'm pretty sure that this isn't in Windows 8, and it certainly isn't in Windows 7 if you happen to be using an obsolete machine which is no longer supported. Unfortunately, this tool is also not something in an Apple Mac. I'm sure that there are equivalent tools on a Mac. I just haven't got the experience for that. So you've got a Windows 10 machine and you've got a video that you've maybe taken on your iPad or on a camera. Your first job is to get that video actually onto your laptop or computer so that you can play with it. Once you've got it uploaded from the iPad or camera, etc., you need to find it. So I'm going to open File Explorer and go to my videos folder where my videos are stored. The one I'm going to be playing with is this one down the bottom with a long number for a name. Now, if you simply double click it at this point, it will start playing the video with the normal video playing software, whatever it is that your computer has been set up to use. We don't want it to do that, we want it to do something specific. So first of all, just click on it once to highlight it. Once you've got it selected, point with the mouse and press the right hand mouse button, do a right click, and you'll get a little menu of options up. A right click will always get you a list of options. What you see depends on whereabouts you are and what it is that you're pointing at. So in this circumstance, the one we want to use is about halfway down. It says open with. When you hover over that, a little list pops up down the right hand side. The program we're actually going to use is Windows Photos, but if your little list doesn't include Windows Photos, you can click on choose another app and go and look for it. It does depend, what you get in that list depends on the sort of programs you have been opening, so it may not show you Photos straight away. If you scroll down the scroll down the list, you will hopefully see Photos. If you don't see Photos, try clicking on the More Apps, which gives you a longer list, and Photos should be somewhere amongst that lot. So click on Photos and click OK. So that's going to open the video and it will actually start it playing. So as soon as it does, I will stop it. Right. So you will need to play the video to a certain extent in order to work out exactly what it is that you want to chop off. So you would play it. If you know that you actually want to go all the way to the end, you can drag the little blob along to get to a certain point. It tells you here the timing. So if, for example, I wanted to get rid of everything that was before this point, I know I need to start at 36 seconds. So you would make a note of that because we need that in a moment. And similarly, if you want to chop something off at the end, you know roughly it's a couple of minutes before the end, but you don't know exactly what, you would scoot along to the end, play the video from this point, choose the exact point that you want to get it, and make a note of the timing. So I want to finish at 59 minutes and 2 seconds. So I'm just making a note of that. do make a note, because by the time you get to the next stage you will have forgotten about it completely if you're anything like me. So we now know what editing we want to do. We're just going to slice a little bit off at the beginning and a little bit off at the end. The button we want to click next is up near the top right hand corner where it says Edit and Create. If we click on that, a little list pops down. Top item is Trim. That's the one we want, so click on Trim. So that now opens the video in a slightly different screen. Again, down the bottom you've got the bar with the blobs, which you always get on a video screen, but there's an extra little flag here, and that is basically what we use to denote the points at which we want it cutting. So I'm going to start by pulling in the end, because I wanted it to end at 59:02. So if I drag that along, don't know if you can see, just above where the white blob that I'm dragging is the little blue flag, and just above the little blue flag is a timer. Oops, I had 59:02. You just need to juggle things around until you get to the precise measurement that you wanted and leave go. So it's telling me now that that end point will be 59:02. I also want to drag the start point in. I want to drag that one in to 36 seconds. So I'm going to drag that to there. So having chosen the start and end points, I'm now going to click on the Save a Copy button, which is up near the top right hand corner. The screen goes greyed out, it goes pale, and I don't know if you can see, but there is a very faint bar in the middle which is very slowly being filled up with a blue line. That does take quite a while. It depends on how big the video is. It also depends on how fast your computer is. So this one is a particularly slow computer. It's going to take, for a video of this side, quite possibly 20 minutes or more. So we will come back in a moment. So it's been at it for about 20 minutes now, and as you can see, the blue bar has nearly made it to the end, so just a few more minutes. Once it's finished, it doesn't actually give you I'm all done messages, but the screen comes back to normal, back to life. The blue bar has disappeared from the middle of the screen, and if you look carefully at the top at the file name, you'll see that it's got the same name as it had before, but with the word Trim tagged on the end of it. So basically we are now looking at the slightly shortened video. You can also tell by the length of time. So that is the amount of time I was expecting from the two timings that I wrote down. The start of the video is obviously this screen here, and the end of the video, if you scroll, excuse me, my mouse isn't moving properly, right to the end, it's on the screen where I left it. So that's the video prepared. We can close this now, go back to the folder. So it will have stored it in exactly the same place as the original video. So the original video is the one with the long number, the new version is the one with trim on the end. You can see the timing has gone down slightly. You would now be able to rename that to whatever you wanted to call it. So, you know, So Optimist performing at blah de blah. Upload it to your YouTube channel, include it on your website, or whatever else it is that you want to do with it. I would always recommend hanging on to the original full-size video just in case you wanted to do any edits of a different type at a future point. If you've got the original, same applies to any pictures, etc. Always keep the original, then you can make further changes if you want to use it for a different purpose in future. So hopefully I've shown you there a simple method to make simple edits to a video. If you only wanted to chop off the end or chop off the beginning, you only need to do one end or the other. If you want to make more sophisticated edits and join two videos together, etc., that would require a different tool. I will do another video about the built-in Windows one that will do that, but hopefully you'll find this one useful. My name's Joan Bailey. Thank you very much for listening.